The year was 1965. A young man named Thomas Peterffy stood on a platform in Hungary. He did not have much. He had a small bag with a few clothes, a change of shirts, a book. He did not have much money. He had the equivalent of a few dollars. He had no family waiting for him on the other side of the world. He was alone. The Iron Curtain was a real thing, a wall of ideology and steel. To leave meant to never look back. He bought a ticket for a train, a slow, quiet vessel that would carry him away from the world he knew. The train rattled through the night. Its sound was a steady beat against the darkness. Peterffy sat by a window, watching the landscape of his past disappear. He was leaving a place crushed by war and Soviet control. He was headed toward a place he only knew from stories. America, the land of opportunity, the land of capital. He did not speak the language well. He had no connections. He had only a belief in his own mind. He knew he was good with numbers. He knew how to solve puzzles. He figured that had to be worth something, somewhere. He arrived in New York City with almost nothing. The real work was about to start. This single moment, this arrival in a foreign land with empty pockets, is the start of the story. Thomas Peterffy's first jobs in America were not glamorous. They were practical. They were about survival. He was an architectural draftsman. He drew plans for highways. He sat at a large table, rulers, pencils. The work required precision. It demanded attention to detail. Every line had to be perfect. Every angle had to be correct. This was a world of logic and measurement. It was a world that made sense to him. He learned to speak the language of engineering. He learned how to build things on paper, step by step. He bought his first computer, an early model. He taught himself how to program. This was a pivotal moment. The computer was not just a machine. It was a tool for thinking. He saw that you could teach a machine to follow rules. You could give it a set of instructions. It would execute them perfectly, every time. He started writing small programs, simple things at first. But the idea grew in his mind. He realized this new skill, the ability to speak to a machine, was powerful. He left drafting. He sought a bigger problem. He found finance. He took a job at a small trading firm. He was no longer drawing highways. He designed systems for trading stocks, options. He walked onto the floor of the American Stock Exchange in the 1970s. It was pure chaos. Men in colored jackets, yelling, paper tickets flying through the air. It was a system based on instinct, on gut feelings, on who could shout the loudest. Peterffy looked at this scene and saw something different. He saw inefficiency. He saw a system begging to be replaced by logic. He began his real work. He was not a trader in the traditional sense. He did not yell. He did not rely on intuition. He was a quant. He used math and programming to build models. He wanted a better way to price options. He stayed up late testing theories. He filled notebooks with equations. He wrote code to run simulations. He was trying to find the hidden patterns in the noise of the market. His first wins were small. His losses were lessons. He was slowly, methodically, building the foundation for what would come next. In 1977, Thomas Peterffy made his move. He bought a seat on the American Stock Exchange. He pooled his savings to start his own firm, Timber Hill. The name was unassuming. The goal was not. He was not there to join the club. He was there to change the game. He started as a market maker in equity options. A market maker's job is simple in theory, to always be willing to buy and to sell. They make money on the spread, the tiny difference between the buy price and the sell price. For most traders, this was an art. For Peterffy, it was a science. He knew he could not outshout the other traders on the floor. He was a quiet man in a loud room. So he brought a machine with him. In the early days, he developed the first handheld computer used for trading. It was a clunky device, wired to a larger system. It gave him an edge. While other traders were doing math in their heads, his device was feeding him fair values for options based on his proprietary models. The other traders were suspicious. They did not understand what he was doing. They saw the machine as a threat to their way of life. They were right. The firm grew. Timber Hill became known for its technology. Peterffy and his small team of programmers worked relentlessly. They built automated trading systems that could process information faster than any human. They moved from handheld devices to fully electronic platforms. They were connecting directly to the exchanges. They were building the infrastructure for a new kind of market, a market where speed and accuracy were everything. Their strategy was simple: use technology to trade thousands of times a day, capturing tiny profits on each trade. It was a volume game. This focus on automation and low-cost execution was revolutionary. While other firms were still reliant on human traders and high commissions, Timber Hill was building a machine. This machine did not get tired, it did not get emotional, it simply executed its programmed instructions. It was designed to find small pricing inefficiencies and exploit them over and over again. This was the core of the business. It was the engine that would power Peterffy's rise. He was not just trading the market, he was rewiring it from the inside out. The success of Timber Hill laid the groundwork for something even bigger. Peterffy saw another opportunity. The technology he'd built for his firm could be offered to the public. In 1993, he founded Interactive Brokers. He wanted to give individual investors the same powerful tools professionals used. He wanted to give small firms the same powerful tools professionals used. He wanted a brokerage that was fast, global, and most importantly, cheap. He applied lessons from being a market maker to the brokerage industry. Built on the same principles as Timber Hill: automation, efficiency. Mission: cut out the middleman. Connect clients directly to market centers around the world and offer dramatically lower commissions. A direct challenge to old Wall Street firms. He bet customers would choose low costs over fancy offices. He built a discount airline for finance. His wealth grew with his companies. He was owner, not just an employee. He held a large majority stake. Timber Hill and Interactive Brokers became global powerhouses. His net worth soared. The company went public in 2007. Focus stayed on tech, lowering costs, expanding access, not built on speculation, an empire of automation, an empire of code. It began with a young man teaching himself to program in a small New York apartment. He built the system he'd always imagined. Thomas Peterffy does not offer get-rich-quick schemes. His philosophy about money is as logical and pragmatic as his approach to trading. His advice is not flashy. It is grounded in common sense and mathematics. Thomas Peterffy's business empire rests on two main pillars. These are the core entities he built from the ground up. The first is Timber Hill, his original market-making firm. This is the engine room. For decades, Timber Hill has operated in the background of the world's financial markets. Its business is to provide liquidity. It stands ready to buy and sell thousands of different securities, stocks, options, futures, at any given moment. It profits from the bid-ask spread, that small gap between the buying and selling price. It is a high-volume, low-margin business that relies entirely on superior technology. Timber Hill is the quiet giant. It does not have a public-facing brand. It does not deal with individual clients. Its customers are the markets themselves. The firm's success is a direct result of the sophisticated, automated trading systems that Peterffy and his team developed over many years. It is a testament to the idea that a machine, properly programmed, can perform a task more efficiently and at a greater scale than any group of humans. This firm was the original source of his wealth and the technological incubator for everything that followed. It is the foundation upon which the empire was built. The second pillar is the one most people know: Interactive Brokers. This is the public-facing side of the empire. It is one of the largest electronic brokerage firms in the world. Interactive Brokers took the powerful, low-cost trading infrastructure built for Timber Hill and opened it up to the public. It caters to a wide range of clients, from individual retail traders to large institutional hedge funds. Its value proposition is simple and powerful: direct access to global markets at an extremely low cost. It is the embodiment of Peterffy's belief in democratizing finance through technology. The story of Thomas Peterffy is a quiet epic. It is not a tale of bombast or celebrity. It is a story about a calm mind, a steady hand, an unshakable belief in the power of logic. A man who looked at a system built on human emotion and on instinct, then replaced it with mathematics and code. He did not ask for permission. He simply built a better machine. Great change doesn't always start with a loud revolution. Sometimes it starts in a quiet room where someone writes the rules for the future. Look back to the beginning. The young man on the train, leaving his home with nothing but belief in his own intellect. He wasn't dreaming of becoming a billionaire. He wanted a life where his skills mattered. A life where he could build things. He used the tools he had. His mind for numbers. His patience for solving puzzles. He taught himself the language of computers. He took small, deliberate steps. Each step prepared the next. Each solved problem made the next solvable. His life offers a clear lesson, not a secret formula for wealth. A reminder, steady work plus a smart idea can transform a life. It's about frugality, controlling costs, thinking for the long term. You don't need to be the loudest to win. You need to be the most prepared. You need to have done the math. You need a better system. His success wasn't an accident. It was an algorithm. From a cold, small room in New York to the pinnacle of global finance, it was long and methodical, paved with logic, one line of code at a time.